Welcome to the second episode of Power and Presence, the podcast. I'm so glad that you're here, and I also want to express my gratitude for the overwhelming response that I got on the first episode, the introduction episode, and I'm so excited to take you into episode number 2. Welcome to the second episode of Power and Presence, the podcast. Today we're going to talk about becoming her, how to get power and presence from the inside out. See, sometimes you meet those women and the way they enter a room, that she just has that je ne sais quoi vibe, which means that when she enters a room, she stands tall like a powerhouse. She speaks with grace and she moves elegantly. And today we're going to talk about how to embody this woman and how to become her. We're going to talk about what I thought it was, but what it totally wasn't. And how becoming actually is a story of unbecoming what you really are not. My road to power and presence, I was totally focused on the outer part, thinking that if you look the part, that's what you are. But what I learned is that you can fool people, you can fool yourself, but you can't fool the universe. You can dress nicely, talk confidently, but if you don't feel that you're good enough, you can never emit to the frequency of abundance and truly presence from within. So in my 20s, I just remembered that I was really trying to look like it. I was dressing the part, I was talking the part, I was connecting, networking with people, being in the right places at the right time, making the right Instagram pictures. And I just realized that I was building my image. And I know that a lot of people do that. But what I noticed when I did that is that a lot of that felt like a checklist. It felt like a play, like a charade, like I was performing in my own life. And I just remember feeling super empty and disconnected. After I went to India, I realized that I came back and somehow that brought me back to myself. And I started asking myself questions. What do I want? What do I want to do in this life? Is this something that I want to continue doing? And how does a life map to my happiness really look like? And maybe that means that I'm going to have to make some changes and some shifts in how I created and orchestrated my life. So that's basically where the journey of unbecoming started for me. I was so passionately chasing a version of me that had to do it all, was a go-getter, was a passionate woman that wants to achieve big dreams. And I know that society applauds us for that. So it's kind of hard to see that you're chasing other people's goals and society's goals instead of your own. So it's not weird that even you can get a little sidetracked in thinking you're doing a good job because society praises that go-getter mentality. But did we ever stop to check if that aligns with what you want? So here's the truth no one talks about. If you don't get the inside right, it doesn't matter how much you gain, what you wear, how much money you have. It will never feel good enough. So for me, after India, I really realized I need to change things up. I need to do it differently. I need to make sure that I can align myself from the inside out and not the other way around. Because real presence isn't about what you wear or what you own. It's the way that you carry yourself. It's the way that you identify with yourself from the inside out that's mapped to truth. And you can derive confidence temporarily from a nice car, a nice watch, cool friends, cool pictures on Instagram, followers. We can all derive temporary confidence from that. Do you remember the woman I spoke about in the beginning? The woman that has that je ne sais quoi feeling? The woman that has presence and depth when she walks into a room? That presence and depth is not built on just nice things, not built on her car. It's not built on her house. It's about her taking time to rewind and reflect who I am, what I'm doing, how I show up to other people and the world. Is that something that is aligned with who I am inside? And listen, let me tell you guys clearly, it's not that you have to get it right from the get-go, because I know that our generation gets into perfection like no other. It's about reflecting back. How am I doing? Maybe you're on a career path. Maybe you are on your goal somewhere and you're mid in your goal, and you just take a moment to stop and you think, wait a minute, what I'm doing, is it still mapping to happiness for me? Is it still aligned with who I am? Am I not caught in some societal pressure of the grind? Am I not living my parents' dream? You can stop and just pause for a minute and think about that. If you don't stop and think about that, what will happen? You will get depleted of your own energy. Because let me tell you something, dragging your goals along in life without it being fueled by your life energy is something that is one of the most exhausting things in the whole world. And why do I tell you to focus on getting the inside right first? Because once you get the inside right, achieving your goals from a place of love, from a place of abundance, from a place of that presence and power that you have in yourself is way easier. When I started Unbecoming, I realized that it's not always the most fun journey to do. People call it the healing journey. You can call it whatever you want. You can say you started therapy, whatever you want. But honestly, it's not the most glamorous. Unbecoming also means that you check where your energy goes. It also means that you have to check your circle of friends. You need to check your circle of family. You need to check yourself. Where am I in life right now? What kind of habits drain me? And what people drain me? And what self-thought patterns drain me? And what gives me energy? So to get deeper into it, I want to focus on a question that I got from one of you guys. And the question was, let me see. I have been feeling this for a while, but where do I start? Very good question, because I can imagine if you hear all these people talking about glowing up and becoming her and everything, it's hard to find a point where to start, because we're all on this rat race called life. We're all working, we're all performing. How do you get off? So without burning your life to the ground and stopping everything, I will tell you where to start with small things. What's most important in this is that you need to take time to be with yourself. Take some time to sit in your own energy. And this can be taking a walk in the park. This can be journaling. This can be even picking up old hobbies that you had that made life energy flow for you. Think about painting, dancing, anything where you don't need to perform. So I'm going to tell you already, when you start, you're going to see that you're going to perform in these areas as well. Just like me, when I started this podcast, I remember writing everything out to perfection, like the script, and it just didn't work out. And I just got so frustrated with it not being perfect. And then I remembered, you know what? This is a passion project. Of course, it's my purpose, it's my calling, it's my truth, but it's from a place of love. I don't have a boss that wants me to perform in this situation. So we often are so auto-programmed to perform. Please stop that. Take some time, me time, but not just to be like, oh, we're going to do self-care, we're going to have a bath. No, I'm talking about serious me time. Spend some time with yourself. Emit to your own frequency. Cancel appointments that you want to cancel and take time out to be with her. So question number 2 is a perfect follow-up question. It says, I'm doing therapy, not sure if it's working. Do I need therapy to become her? All right. So my advice is you can use therapy to get you through the unbecoming part, the peeling down the layers. You don't need therapy necessarily, because sometimes therapy will send you on this psychological path of logically unraveling what's going on, but energetically, you didn't shift. And presence and power comes from energy. It comes from your energy field. So, do you need therapy? I definitely benefited from therapy. But just make sure that the type of therapy aligns with you. Because the reason is when you sit with yourself and you have all these me moments and you take time to sit into your own energy, you might come across some experiences that you didn't want to experience. And that's why you put them away and created a perfect mask for it. When you sit with yourself and you connect back with yourself, these triggers or experience can come up. And it can make you sad. It can overwhelm you. So therapy, what it does or what it's supposed to do is that it's supposed to help you through the points that you get blocked so that you cannot grow anymore. So to the point where you experience triggers, therapy can help you move through that so that you can release it. But it's not necessary. You can, if you have a self-reflecting option to do that yourself, that you can reflect yourself, that you can release energy, maybe you can journal about it. That's also a great way to do it. I do suggest that you always try energetic work. So like move your body, see if you can do breath work, see if you can do meditation, see if you can do tapping, EFT. See if you can do something that creates more balance in your system. I can make a whole other video about that if you guys want to, but that's definitely something I recommend. Question number 3. I feel I want to change, but I don't want to lose the life I built. What do I do? Okay, first of all, super valid question and a super real question, because this is what my truth is. Like I said before, change doesn't mean that you have to burn your life to the ground. I know that we have built very hard to come where we are today. So I think a few questions that I wrote down that you can ask yourself is, which parts of my current life still feel aligned with who I'm becoming? And which parts were built from fear, validation, or survival mode? Because the goal is not to destroy your life. The goal is to expand on what's already beautiful and true to yourself. That could be your family. That could be the work that you do. That could be the way you show up for your friends. That could be the way you show up for your environment. And that you want to replace the things that don't bring you energy. So start small. See, once you want to walk your truth, you will lose people, you will lose situations, but always remember that you are in charge. You will never lose what's meant for the truest version of you. So in this way, you cannot lose, but you don't have to uproot your life. You can just start small. Start with honesty. Start being honest to yourself. I personally think that that's the first step everybody should take, because if we live in this so-called charade, we sometimes tend to also lie to ourselves. So start small and start shedding more light on what energizes you and start to seriously assess what drains you and what doesn't align with the truest version of who you are. So guys, this is already the end of the episode. I'm so glad you guys are watching, and I truly want to leave you with this. It's not about adding more to your life. It's about coming home to who she already is. And maybe after seeing this episode, you feel like, oh, this is something I really want to work on, but you're not sure how to start. Let me give you a few questions that you can ask yourself. Where have I been performing instead of showing up? What part of me have I abandoned in the name of being strong? I know my girls really feel that one. And what would it feel like to lead with my truth instead of my image? Because becoming her isn't about perfection. It really isn't. It really is not. And the presence and the power that you take with you, the way you carry yourself, what you take into rooms, is also about embodying feminine energy and that softness. And I know that soft life is a popular term, but in the next episode, I'm going to explain to you how you can own your soft feminine energy, how it can coexist with the word power, and how you can embody soft feminine energy to land more into who you are and into this process of becoming her. So if you're curious about that, definitely watch next episode. But for today, I thank you. I also want to remind you to subscribe, hit the like button, and definitely share this video if you think it might benefit a woman that you know, maybe your sister, your mother, anybody, a girlfriend, because we're all trying to make it together. Thank you again for this amazing community that we're building together, and I see you again next time.